Alquest.
I would like to switch my thing over to Arcana.
Elquest.
Play the music.
Spike.
It's Spike. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Alquest, Season 1, Episode 10. Questier than ever.
I can't believe it's been 10 episodes. Wow.
Now with 20% more goblins. Yeah, 10 episodes, and here we are. Who knows what we're up to?
In our hands.
Yeah. An adventure is forming. A hat is a little bit askew. That's better.
Everybody fix your hats.
Fix your hats. Oh. So what happened last time? I think
Who's got the recap this time?
GQ should give us the recap.
Should he?
I did it pretty recently. And I don't remember.
No, don't use.
I remember what happened. The party had arrived at Goblerado, driven out of the lumber mill by Prometheus, the Cyclops, seeking for some help because they were outnumbered. So they talked to the Goblin Chieftain, Chief Bearbite, and he said that if he fights their best goblins in the arena in the fighting pit, then he would agree to help them out if they prove themselves in combat, because that's what the goblins respect is strength and fighting and spectacle. And they did. They beat the goblins in the fighting pit quite handily with a really, really well-placed entangle spell and some really, really bad checks to get out of the entangle spell. Half the goblins and the ogre were all wrapped up in vines the whole fight. Couldn't do nothing. Except for Robert Goblin, the hero of the hour, who distinguished himself admirably in the fighting pit. And I think got a cheer, and everybody carried him out, cheering his name.
I think so. And he jumped up, and then there was a freeze frame, and then we rolled the
There was
credits.
a freeze frame, yeah.
And
So
some
we come back
80s
at the
music
freeze frame.
started. I don't know.
Yep.
Robert Goblin.
At least that's how I've pinned it for my Bardic recap for when this whole campaign is over. That's how it's going down in the history books.
Yeah, in the tales. More accurately, Glane and Robert Goblin just kind of were going at each other in the arena, so Glane has a bit of a grudge against him.
There was some friction.
A hobgoblin by the name of Robert.
That's him.
And then the party wanted to take a long rest, and that's kind of where we left off the next day with these goblin forces at their disposal, wanted to make their next moves. There was a couple things, actually, from last session. The party was kind of suspicious on how they got ambushed at the lumber mill, and we're thinking about maybe sending some kind of message or correspondence via the Sending Stone to Dane Deepvein. Maybe that was talked about, and now that it's a new dawn, that's possible to do. The Sending Stone is reset. The party wanted to check out the lair of the Cyclops and try to see what they could learn or steal, or perhaps sneak up on the Cyclops and take the orb, or something like that. There's also the possibility of an ambush at the Fireblood Lake, where the druid Valmoira plans to meet the party and command this Serpent of the Lake to fight Prometheus. And all amidst that is these kind of goblins from Goblerado who are willing to help you guys out against Prometheus's forces, which are many.
Yes. I'm gonna go ahead and roll d6 plus 1 for the wand recharge, because I did not do that. As for the message, okay, that's pretty good. As for the message, we can get, with 25 words, we can say what we want to say. Like, if I just say, potential mole at lodge, exercise caution, don't reveal our plans. That captures everything. We can sprinkle in some prepositions to make it clearer. that's just that's a really trimmed down version of I think everything we wanted to say. Does that sound good to everybody?
Yeah.
I'm on board.
All right, that's what we send them. We're letting the crew know that the crew that we're separated from know, one, by the fact that we are sending them a message that we're still alive, and two, don't say anything else. And the reason we're being very explicit, we think information is getting out, and that's all we're going to reveal to them. That we are accepting the chance that one of them is leaking information, and there's nothing else we can do about that.
And we are specifically not telling them what we're about to do.
Yes.
Yeah, you're just telling them that there's a possible mole, and don't tell anybody anything.
Mm-hmm.
Great. You send that message off with the sending stone. These little, like, nautilus shelled sending stone that Savannah's friend sent her, Lucian Skyhorn. You get a message back in reply that says something to the effect of, from Dame Deepvein, that's understood. We'll lay low. Won't talk to anybody. Contact us again soon.
All right. No, you hang
Be
up.
safe.
No, you hang up. No, you hang up.
What else is going on with you?
So
Like 4 words left. Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
It was
so you will
coded.
have sent that message out to them.
All right.
What you thinking?
What you thinking about?
What you doing? What are your plans? Tell me all your plans.
Tell me all your plans.
So what is a party wanting to do in general terms, and then we can talk about what that looks like. How to get there. We want to go to the Cyclops' lair.
I think that's what we were kind of circling around, is investigate the Cyclops lair without a goblin entourage to avoid drawing heavy attention.
Do we want to like leave them at the lake, or leave them where they are now? How do we do that?
Chief Bearbite is here with you guys. You guys are sort of like strategizing, maybe
Around the war table.
around the board. Yeah, around like a table. Maybe you're looking at a map that looks something like this, a crudely drawn map or something.
Carrie's drawing is thrown on top of the pile of maps off to the side. Yes, cat.
He says, well, the woods are crawling with Prometheus's guys, but maybe we could get out there and be a distraction for you if you wanted to sneak into his base.
That sounds good.
I think the chief knows best in these in this area.
So why don't we have Chief Bearbite kind of take his people and kind of flush out the scouts and have them head to the lake. We'll do our stealth mission and then rendezvous with them at the lake afterwards to determine next steps based on what we find out.
This is for the future of goblin kind. Goblerado itself may hang in the balance.
He says, well, hey, if you wanted to, I could use some advice on how to best use my guys. I got some information from our scouts. Maybe you have some input before you go.
Sounds
Or
good.
I could just send them out.
We're outnumbered, so we should be strategic. What did you find out?
Okay, he says that there's some targets that his scouts have pinpointed. Targets that if his guys are able to take them out, it could impact the number of forces that Prometheus can bring to the table in some sort of final confrontation. He said that there are some wolf pens. Prometheus forces have built some crude wolf pens out of some lumber that they co-opted. There's a couple shacks, a sort of a shanty town where they're keeping the wolves. He says that there is by the river. They're building some docks and they're working on making makeshift boats and rafts that they're going to use to transport presumably their forces up and down the river, which is not ideal for you guys. He also says that there's a lot of patrols in the woods themselves. Guerrilla patrols, small numbers that stay moving, and they're having trouble tracking them. And then he says that there's possibly the most important one is that entering the forest is sort of like a valley, and it's heavily snowed in, and he thinks that there might be ambushes or goblins laying in wait in this choke point. That he's a little bit worried about. So he wants to know, where do you want to send each of these goblin tribes? So the 4 targets are the wolf pens, the docks, the patrols, or the choke point. And just to review the forces that you have the tall ones.
Robert Goblin.
Right, the hobgoblins. You have the blue skulls, the dog jaws, and the axe biters are the 4 clans that you're working with here. The tall ones are hobgoblins. They're armed with swords and bows. They seem to enjoy a height advantage, so they tend to be more archers.
So
That's
the
their...
square peg.
The blue skulls are acclimated to cold weather and cold climates. Dog jaws have some wolves and a boar at their disposal. For things that wolves might be good at, tracking, perhaps. And the axe biters, are really good at chopping wood and destroying wooden things. That's a specialty. You see, like, you see, like, Herc is like gnawing on a tree with his teeth, like over, like in the.
Is Robert Goblin in any of these groups?
Alright, Robert Goblin's in the tall ones.
Which
Suicide
target
mission.
is the most
Suicide
dangerous?
mission.
We're not letting
The most
you
dangerous?
decide.
That's tough to say, but I don't know. Maybe you can make a check. Maybe you can make a check to determine which of these is the most dangerous for Robert Goblin.
I'd like
Let's
to
call it an
roll
insight
to,
check.
to send
I would
my
like to send
nemesis
him
to
there.
death.
Yeah, let's call it an insight check.
All right.
Oh boy.
Okay, we're agreed.
Cool.
We're not letting him decide.
Right, yeah. Humor him, but don't listen to him.
Come on, man.
Oh. Hey,
So, Glenn, where do you think we should send Robert Goblin and
I'll
his
say
crew?
on a 20. I'll say on a 20 here. I'm not gonna say which of these is the most dangerous, but I am gonna say which one you think that the tall ones would be best suited towards is the one, the choke point, where there is some high ground for them to avoid these ambushes, because they specialize in archery.
They're used to
What is
being
it?
higher up than other goblins by nature.
What
of
are the
their
other 3?
size.
So the other 3, you're not sure, but you think that the one that they would be best suited towards will probably be that one.
Well, they're not going
Also
there.
because they're the most heavily armored.
So
And
I vaguely remember that the wolf pens that were described may have been made of wood
What about the rafts?
and the rafts.
Yeah, the docks I think would be.
the docks and the wolf pen should be our highest priorities.
So the wolves, the one that has
The dog jaws.
they should be looking for the people roaming the woods because they're good trackers.
Right.
So we can do that. And
There-
then
there are
the
tracking-
hobgoblins, the choke
Yes.
points.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
And the other 2, the wood chewers, and what's the other one? The one that's good with
the wood
cold?
chewers.
Yeah, the one that's good with cold.
The blue skulls.
You
Blue
know,
skulls.
cold nose. I
Like Cold
hate him.
Nose was with them. Where do you want us?
Let's see. What remains of the locations here?
The rafts and the dog pins, right?
The rafts and the pins. Okay,
Send the archers to
yes.
the rafts.
that makes sense. So they don't have to get into the water.
I thought the archers were going.
Oh wait,
to
no. Yeah, the tall ones
Yeah,
are the archers.
Yeah.
We've got
They're
the
doing the
axe
choke point.
biters and the blue skulls.
So I would personally think that the axe biters should go to the rafts, just because, like Herc over there, they're so good at really chewing up wood.
It's true.
And the dog jaws obviously have the animal handling skills to disperse the wolves.
I think you're already sending the dog jaws to the patrols.
Yeah,
You guys
for
already have
tracking.
them set.
True.
The blue skulls
we can-
specialize in basically cold.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I vaguely remember in the camp seeing a lot of the blue skulls maybe near the water. Is their cold resistance so great that they can handle, freezing cold water?
Yeah, based on what you saw, yeah, they were in the river fishing, just like waiting in the river.
Yeah, that was a
Ice
weird
cold river.
detail to remember, but I think that would perhaps give them some advantage around the rafts.
Okay, so we send the possibly aquatic goblins, cold goblins, to the water.
Mm-hmm.
We send the tall ones to go see if there's an ambush or something.
Mm-hmm.
And the axe biters go to release the hounds.
Mm-hmm. And then the dog jaws use their tracking abilities to scan for that.
That sounds like a good plan to me.
Okay. That's what they will do. Before you guys set out, and we'll resolve that with some rolls. I'll let you guys roll for those actually in a moment.
Goblins
But this
on
will all
three.
be happening like when you guys leave. They'll also leave and do their thing.
Dorko.
I need everybody to make a Constitution save with advantage.
All right, Constitution save with advantage. Ba-ba-ba. Heck yeah. Oh, 19,
Good.
19
Good
buddies.
roll so far. A lot of 19 buddies.
Yeah.
Great. Everybody passed. You all take 1 point of cold damage as you step outside.
It's particularly
saving for
cold
half.
today.
It's getting colder. You feel so cold that the cold hurts your skin to be outside.
Great.
But you're bundled up well, and you barely feel it. It's just the slight chill that causes you to take only 1 point of damage each.
Oh, quick note from the chat. Swapping Glaine's ghost proficiency. Has that taken hold? Is the question.
Did you do it in D&D Beyond?
No.
Okay, just change it in D&D Beyond, then we can import.
Okay.
And mind the
I don't know if
HP
I'm-
sinking.
I don't know if I'm changing it correctly. I'm just changing it like in text
Ah,
because I don't know where that is.
Oh, is there not like a drop down or something where you change it?
under that
Let me see.
feat, maybe.
Yeah, you might have to go to like edit character to change it. It might not be like on the main page.
Oh, like in D&D Beyond
Like the place
itself.
where, yeah, like the place you might go to level up. Yeah, in D&D Beyond. Yeah, you can do all
Okay,
changes
not-
in D&D Beyond.
I changed it in the Forge. I just wrote it in. Okay.
I mean, yeah, we can remember. I don't know what it was set to
Surely we'll
before
remember.
survival, and now it's on Arcana, which is good.
What you doing over there, Glane? You whispering to those ghosts again?
Yeah.
That's worrying. All right, cool.
What's Dorko going to be doing during all this?
Wild card.
Go with the
Dorko
archers.
could.
Dorko
He's
is our
Dorko could help us sneak in.
I'm with you.
Dorko.
Be very sneaky.
Dorko's our trump card. He's our +4 wild. We put him anywhere, and that's an instant victory.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
You can't go
just
wrong
can't
with
fail.
Dorko.
Who is Dorko's favorite?
Where's
Because
Dorko?
I assume he was watching what was happening in the pins. What was his who's his favorite fighter on the team now?
Oh,
Oh,
he says,
Robert
you like
Goblin.
Lard. Yeah, Lard's pretty good.
But who on our side is your favorite?
Oh,
Robert Goblin.
I thought we all on the same side.
Well,
Oh,
from our team.
Oh,
some hard questions for Savannah here.
We're all on the same team now, but like on our side.
He says,
just
"Let me
curious.
think." He says, "You look pretty strong." Points to Carla.
Yeah, that's true.
Flexed.
Whoa, hold on. No guns in this setting.
Yeah, flex. There actually are explicitly guns in this setting.
Oh, right.
There's a guy with a gun back at the lodge of the
Oh, yeah,
marshal.
the one gun. I
Yeah.
hope was his name Chekhov? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Oh.
There was a bow hanging above the fireplace. Chekhov's bow, maybe, which did
That did come
into
up.
play.
All right.
So the
Dorko.
goblins, I mean, you guys all, I guess you set out for the bridge.
All right, to the bridge.
Against Alad. The goblins gather up their forces. You see that there's like, what kind of numbers are we working with here? Like half a dozen of each of these groups, maybe. Yeah, I probably say that's about right. And then also their respective named characters that are representing them. As you guys leave for the bridge, to cross the Devil's Chasm, let's roll for your goblin friends to see how they fare while you guys are off on their mission. And your characters won't know the results of this, but I think it'll be fun for you guys to make these rolls. You know what's interesting is that I had like a tribe that I thought could do like okay, and they would roll normal, and a tribe that I thought would have an advantage, and they could roll with advantage. And then if you picked the wrong tribe, they would be making these rolls with disadvantage. You guys picked all four that I thought would be the ones with advantage. So all of these rolls will be made.
We solved the
with
puzzle.
Advantage. For instance, if you had sent the dog jaws to the wolf pens, they would have just rolled normally because they would be pretty good at that. And a lot of the things you guys said were also would have worked.
Right.
The ones you were on the fence about. So you did good.
Yay.
Let's have Glane roll me two
For
d20
Robert Goblin.
because you're rolling with advantage to see how who wins the battle at the pass here.
Glane is rolling for Robert Goblin. Perfect.
Let me tell you what.
Away.
They're trying
Which
to beat
one?
They're trying to beat a 15. Well, I guess like we could just let me just take the modifiers out and make this even simpler. They're trying to beat a 12
What am I rolling?
with advantage.
D20 with advantage.
Just two d20. D20 with advantage. I was gonna have them try to beat a 15 with a +3, but we're just gonna take out the modifiers and they're gonna beat a 12 on this advantage. Added them
Easy.
together. 16, yeah, 16 beats a 12. Yes, Robert Goblin and the rest of the goblins.
I hate it.
He's a hero. He's a hero. Yeah, honestly, he earns a Goblin Medal of Honor. In this
Wow,
battle.
nice.
It's incredible. Yeah,
He is very honorable.
he is extremely honorable. Yes, the hobgoblins get like up on top of the pass and these like narrow cliffs and like rain down arrows on top of these guys who are waiting to ambush and get the upper hand through the pass. Who wants to roll for the docks for the Cold Nose and the Blue Skulls at the docks?
I'll take.
All right, go for it.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, good thing you had the advantage. Another 16. The Blue Skulls, completely underwater, tactical, go down the river, get an ambush on these guys at the docks. They slaughter these workers here, take control of the boats themselves. Yeah, that's a success. Who would like to roll for the dog jaws and the patrols?
I will.
Go ahead.
For the dog jaws.
$13, just barely getting in there. Yeah, the dog jaws. These guys don't have a lot of wolves left, but Porco and Lard. The boars are really good at sniffing things out. They find these patrols. They're made up of mostly hobgoblins. And they take out the patrols in the woods. You guys are decimating Prometheus's forces. Let's have Day roll for the last one.
Okay.
Axe spiders at the wolf pens.
Okay. 70%. There we go.
Ooh, just barely get the 12. Did we get a lot of 2s on the second die? The axe spiders get in there. There's like a little encampment built here, and there's a lot of defenses up, but they just get in there with their axes, chop up these palisades, just dismantle these wolf pens. The wolves go sprinting out into the woods, no longer under Prometheus' control. Prometheus, 4 successes, 4 advantages. This will be reflected later on
our
these wins.
report card.
Yeah, on your report card. Yeah, these wins will. Yeah, this will come into play later on. But the heroes, they find themselves approaching the Devil's Chasm. It's a massive crack in the earth, north and south, and you sort of the elevation is rising. As you cross this field, you see these big pillars. Dorko leads you onward to a rickety, like 100-foot long suspension bridge. It's like swaying in the wind. There's a snowstorm raging around you. A steep drop into this chasm.
Now, describe this bridge. Now, do you mean like is it a rope bridge? Just
a rope bridge. It's
okay.
like a rope bridge, and it's suspended on like posts at each end. So there's
okay.
It's not like a massive structure, like but it is a suspension bridge. Gate? I believe is the correct term for it. No, not that big, but I think it's the correct kind of bridge.
Yeah. The stereotypical someone's gonna cut one end kind of bridge.
Oh yeah, yes.
Okay, great, cool.
Everything you imagined about it. It's planks, broken planks, rotting wood.
Naturally.
It's wet, slippery, wind's blowing.
Dorian is well versed on this trope. Don't worry. That's a bard thing. It's like, oh, this is gonna be a fun bridge.
I've watched the Looney Tunes before. I know what this is like.
It
definitely.
You've lived Tom and Jerry.
It's definitely like Acme brand, right?
I don't have an exact map for this, so if we need a map, we'll figure something out.
100 feet.
We're just gonna. This is just going to be theater of the minds for this challenge. You do see that it's like, well, everybody who wants to give me a perception check, actually. Let's see what you guys see.
Oh gosh, dice everywhere. 11, 15, 7, and Dagwin's got the best, yeah.
Dagwin, you see, that the bridge, it looks like, it obviously, I mean, it looks like what it looks like. It looks like it's crazy and dangerous, but there's not, like, guards or anything posted here. You guys think that, like, you're not rushed through, you're not being pursued by anything right now, so you can take your time and figure out how to cross this safely. On the other end, you do see, like, some abandoned-looking buildings, for lack of a better word, like, dilapidated-looking shack of some kind. But nothing else other than that on the other side of the bridge.
Are we sure that they mean to move armies across This? Surely there must... There's no way this must hold Prometheus's weight.
He's
Cyclops
got his
could not
tricks.
cross. A Cyclops could not cross this. Surely.
Perhaps
Maybe it's
not
stronger
on-
than it looks.
Probably not. Just by looking at it, yeah, it doesn't look like it would probably support his weight.
We know he's full of surprises. I'm sure he's got his ways.
So,
Savannah is skeptical that this is the only way across this chasm.
Do you want to try to see if there's something else? Maybe we can roll for it. If you want to search for something else.
I see no problem with making this, Let's go for it. All together, come on.
wait, what are we going for? Just going
Across the
it?
bridge.
Sure.
Should we like tie a rope to the person, and that way if it breaks or something, or if they slip, we can pull them up? Or tie a rope to a person and then like to the side.
Should we send Dorko across first?
Is Dorko
Let's
actually
send
with us?
Dorko across first.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds
Okay.
great.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Dorko, we're gonna guard the rear, and once you get across, we'll all head across as well.
Okay, Dorko's gonna make an acrobatics check.
Counting on you, Dorko. All right.
You see that Dorko has a +4. What does that look like to you guys, by the way? Because some things got updated. Does that
White-
show his modifier, or does it just show you the final?
Just the number.
I only see the 17.
But we did see your die roll, and we saw the number that was on the die.
Okay, so I probably can click something to make it not do that. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I was just curious. So yeah, he rolled pretty well. You see that Dorko, he gets out on the bridge, he sort of like spreads both arms wide. He doesn't have very long arms, like so he could like try to balance himself on the edges of the rope, and he's like going so slow, like like walking like on his tiptoes across, but he gets all the way across the bridge to the other side. And you see him waving over at. He shouts something, but you can't hear him over like the wind is whipping around you guys.
All right, team.
Cross is no
Don't
problem.
follow me.
It's a
bad over
trap.
He's waving.
All right, let's go for it. Come on, everybody.
Okay.
Everyone go at
Okay,
once.
actually,
Let's all go at
just do
once. Everybody just rolls acrobatics.
First let me get everybody to roll another Constitution save
Oh boy. It's
with advantage.
Ah.
Nobody got below a 10.
Whew. Look at those rolls.
Those are all good. You feel that the cold is biting out here as you guys step out into this bridge. There's like no cover here, just pure wind cutting at you, but no mechanical effect. It's just very, very, very cold. I would like to know what order you guys are going over the bridge. I want to roll in order of who's going first. But yeah, it's just gonna be an acrobatics check.
Best to
I
worst.
would like to be as far to the rear as possible.
I'll take
I
the
will give up a
lead.
position to Glane if he wants to.
The least number of broken planks go to the first person across.
Alright, I'll go second.
Putting you guys in order.
There we go.
I'll go third, I guess.
I'll go second to last.
Okay. I'm just putting you guys in order. Okay, Dorian, let me get an acrobatics check. You guys are all going at the same time?
Yeah.
No. I'm gonna wait till
Yeah, one at a
Nat
time.
20?
It's not moving.
Oh,
Okay, great.
Dobbs gets across.
Yeah, net
Tom's
20.
across just
Easy.
fine. He dances across.
I walk on the rope railing.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever on a Nat 20, sure. He does a
Handstand.
moonwalk across. It makes it look easy.
60 feet. I'm going to
Alright.
stop in the middle.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Okay.
Oh, well.
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
I rolled right before I said that.
Carla begins to cross. Dobbs Does Dorian actually stop in the middle?
I would like to stop in the middle.
Okay, what I would like is I want you to give me an acrobatics check.
Me? All right.
Yeah, or sleight of hand might be more appropriate, but it might be the same for you either way. Yeah, so it doesn't really matter. A dexterity check from you.
All right. My let's see, 15.
15. Carla begins to walk a little bit heavier in her gear, puts a foot right through a broken plank, but you're standing there, grab her by the arm, pull her up, and Carla
Grab
is
my hat.
halfway across with you. Fine, though, not falling through.
Right.
Should I do another acrobatics check to get?
You can make another acrobatics check to get to the second half, yeah.
Because I feel like I should go ahead and get off this thing.
Probably.
You get across fine. And Dorian's still remaining in the middle
Yes, and
to help
for
people across.
basically, yeah. For
Okay.
just for full disclosure, for the sake of game mastering,
Yeah, Featherfall.
60-foot range on that. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, fair.
and of course it's a 100-foot bridge. So
So right in the center, just in case anybody falls. Great, I love that. I love that. Okay, Savannah, you're up next. Dorian is sort of like
I'm your
on the ropes
insurance.
here. You know, he feels like he has a good footing on his nat 20, so he's not in danger of falling, I think, at all, until he tries to cross again. But he will be here to help people out if they fail their checks. He'll get a chance to help you out with that nat 20.
Okay. I also have claws, so I'm going to be gripping this rope very tightly. So acrobatics.
Yep.
Normal?
Yeah, as far as I know. Ooh, a nat 1.
Clumsiest cat.
There is a sudden gust of wind. The bridge sways violently. Dorian has himself anchored there, but Savannah, on a nat 1, falls over the side. Savannah, you can make a dexterity save right now to attempt to catch on. You completely fall over. You're gonna attempt to grab on and be hanging there if you make this dexterity save.
6.
A 9 is not gonna cut it. Savannah goes over the side, reaches out, misses her grab, but because Dorian has specifically set himself up in the middle, he can make the same acrobatics check that he made to grab on to Carla here.
Let's see if I can save a slot here.
Again, Dorian dives down, grabs Savannah, who's straight up falling, and you're able to pull her back up to the midway point,
Oh,
narrowly avoiding having to use that Featherfall spell.
yeah.
Nat 1.
You know, the dice really don't like me. We've determined this.
I guess so.
But at least Dorian was there to help you out. You can make another acrobatics check to get to the second half. You get over there so fast. You're like rattled, like ding, 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 you just get across the second half so fast.
The cat instincts kicked in.
All right,
All her
Savannah gets
fur
across.
standing on end.
This bridge is actually
Like-
more tense than I thought it would be.
She's kneading the snow with her claws, like.
I'm just sitting on the
So-
bridge smiling at Glane.
Normal acrobatics.
Just like, what have I
Yeah,
got
just a
myself
regular
into?
acrobatics. Yep, I think it's just a regular straight up.
Well, that was almost a
Yeah.
23, you get across the bridge just fine. On a 23, fully across. Zach, you're the last one.
Dagwin, seeing the disaster that almost happened to Savannah, he decides just to sprint across the bridge.
17 will do it. 17 will get you there. You run across past Dorian. Dorian, I want you to give me one last acrobatics
What
check.
could
Everyone is across but
Go
you.
wrong. 13.
13, that'll get you through half of it. That'll get you through half of it, okay. You guys get across this bridge, look down at this deep drop. A little pebble like goes clattering down into the darkness. You don't hear it hit the bottom.
Magical silence down there. Watch out.
They can't hear you scream.
All right, well, I'd say that was a success.
You guys made it across. You crossed the devil's chasm.
There's no way they move entire armies across that.
Well, we won't get any more
Perhaps
information staring at this bridge.
Perhaps not. You guys, continue on from there. Through the gates of Laud. Anybody who wants to give me a religion check?
Oh.
I can't find my mouse. Oh, there it is.
You can't find your mouse.
Yeah, I keep losing it against the background.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
White mouse on the snowy
Yeah.
background.
Dagwin has no interest in these religions.
Fair enough.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Anybody who rolled higher than a 15, which I think is almost everybody, know Lud as the goddess of the giants. The goddess of a few domains, actually, of snow, of ice, of the giants, of art, of beauty, and of stoicism. Many of the gods have multiple domains like this in this setting. So you know that this area is named after her, and true to that name, this appears to be a place where giants lived. You pass through these archways that are literally giant in scale. They have like carvings of runes and like not hieroglyphics, but like more like pictures of and events and things that happened. You know that Laud, despite being the goddess that is known for her stoicism and having icy cold demeanor, she also had a frightening temperament and was like known to like blow up and cause things to happen in situations with other gods and things. And she is worshipped by giants. So this place that you're heading to, you think that it appears that a Cyclops is a type of giant. He has found a place where giants perhaps used to live and made it his home. As you approach through these gates, up to like a massive cavernous opening here in front of you. To you guys, it is massive in proportions. It looks like for Prometheus, it's like just a little bit taller than him. It's still like not that spacious of an opening for a giant, but you see that it sort of tapers off into a dark tunnel that sort of curves in the back. You can't make out much from the entrance because of the light differential, but there's sort of like a big like boulder in front of the cave that you could walk up to get a better look and use it as sort of cover. Is there anything anybody wants to do before entering the cave, or what kind of plans are we? What are we thinking about here? What's everyone thinking of? What's the plan?
All right, hear me out. Glane solos. Invisibly.
Yeah, not bad idea. At least
just to get an idea of.
As soon as he sees anything that could.
Yeah,
You know,
let us know
dangerous to
what
him.
our first thing
Don't
up
try to
ahead
do
is.
anything, just look.
Valid. I also have dark vision.
That's a
My-
good point. Glane is
my
not
cat-
super.
My cat eyes are a little bit better adjusted to dark environments than human
I
eyes.
didn't consider that. Probably is dark. And
And if there's invisibility, then
mm-hmm.
How long does invisibility
even
last?
the
Invisibility
clumsiest
lasts
of cats
an
can be
hour.
sneaky.
An hour, yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
I can concentrate on that and leave it running for a while.
As long as he doesn't do anything, in terms of making a attack or casting a spell, then he'll remain invisible for an hour.
Savannah raises a good point. It's likely to be dark in the cave. I'm sure that Dagwin can tell us if goblins are able to see in the dark, and that if so, then there could be goblins in there in pitch black darkness, wandering around.
Marco, have you ever been here before?
Oh, who, Dorko? Dorko says, has Dorko been here? Let me make a roll, and let's see what Dorko knows about this place. Dorko's gonna make a history check, which he's not great in. Let me pull up his skills. What's he got?
Natural 20. Here it comes.
He's just rolling a flat D20. Here we go. He's making a history check about this place. He says, me not sure. Prometheus only let his favorite goblins come here. Not many.
Is there any illumination ability to Dawn Rises? Or is it just a light weapon?
I don't think so.
Doesn't seem to say anything.
I'm
It's just a light-based sword.
Dorko wasn't one of the favorites?
He shrugs. I know.
That would be funny. So let's see. So
Well, I was robbing you guys, and
that's true.
it didn't go great. So maybe I would have made the cut.
That wasn't great. I remember that. We all remember that.
I mean, you could light a torch. I think that anything that it could do to give off light, could be done with a torch as well.
I believe the concern is that
torch
light
invisible?
would be visible. Like if we're sending in someone to do some recon real quick before the rest of us enter, if say there are some goblins running around guarding and they see, hey, there's a weirdly bright spot moving around, no one there, but just this glowing zone, that's suspicious. That's our concern. If Savannah went in, she's got dark vision.
I do think that, I think that if you were invisible but you were shining a light, it would look like a light moving around to people. It would be like worse than it would be not helpful to your invisibility to do that.
So Savannah, do you want to risk it? Go in and check to see, get us the skinny on things.
You already rolled your one for the day.
You know what? Sure.
Okay. I can back you up with I've got the message cantrip. So as long as you're within 120 feet, and I know where you are, which is gonna run out pretty quick, I can basically send you dummy messages and get back whisper replies if you have any information to report back in a whisper. Yes, Carla?
I have a question. Have any
Yeah.
of us actually gone on the boulder that he said, or around the
We haven't
boulder
gotten to that
he said
point,
we
no.
could look at? Like, maybe we should look to see if there's something like immediately
Okay.
within the
That is
cave
fair
before
before
do all these plans
before we
and
start our
all these
elaborate
spells.
heist plan.
Yeah, maybe someone should just go up there and just take a peek.
All right.
Are there signs that this boulder gets dragged around a lot, like as a door, or?
No, it's like the entrance to the cave is like I don't know, 30, 40 feet wide, and the boulder's like 10 feet wide. So it's just like kind of a boulder that provides some cover that could allow you to get closer without being seen from the opening. But it doesn't block the whole entrance to the cave. It's not like a door.
So maybe someone can stealthily peek out over the boulder.
Why don't we go to the map? I'll take everybody to the map. How about that? And then we can decide who wants to go in. So maybe you're not all quite as far in as you appear. I have you kind of crammed in here around the boulder here.
Okay,
But
so that would be the boulder.
you guys are not spotted yet, okay? You're like all back here or something behind the boulder.
Gosh,
right?
that looks suspicious. I wonder what that is.
What's what? What are you talking about?
No, nothing. Nothing.
You guys can make a perception check for me. Some stuff I'll describe to you, but I'm gonna see what we roll on perception. If you don't have dark vision, I want you to make it with disadvantage.
All right.
If you do have dark vision, just roll normal. Who got a nat 20? Oh, is that disadvantage?
It was disadvantage, yeah.
Okay. Rip.
I'm gonna be relying on Savannah here. Oh!
No one else was struggling.
Okay, great. Savannah, you see that in the mouth of this cave is sort of a wide opening. You see that there's a goblin sort of sitting on a ledge up above you, about 20 feet up, on like just a cliff, overlooking the entrance. And next to him is like a bell. It's a bell dangling from like a nail that's been nailed into the wall, and attached to the bell is a string. And you see that the string runs further into the cavern and attaches to another bell. And you do see the string traveling even deeper into the cavern, presumably to
has dark vision.
Other bells. Oh, Carla, you can roll. We'll take the higher.
I think she did.
She did roll normal. Okay, so
okay.
just a 3 with the dark.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what diagonal was.
So the immediate thing that you see is that there is a lookout here, and it appears that if he spots anything, he's going to grab the string and ding ding ding. He's going to ring the bell, and it's going to alert somebody on the inside. You see, there's just a goblin, sitting there. He sort of looks bored. His feet are dangling off the edge. He's not like at combat ready at this moment. But that's the immediate thing you see here at the mouth of the cave, is that you'll need to do something about this goblin, or sneak past him, or something like that.
Glenn, look.
And I guess what I'll say on the 23 is, you see up ahead that the cavern splits into 3 paths. You see a fork up ahead. Way straight ahead of you, there's like a sort of a bigger cavernous passageway. It's pretty dark, but you see the light of like a campfire or something glowing through that middle passageway. Deep in the back, like around a corner, you see just like flickering of a campfire way in the back. From this right passageway, you smell something really, really bad and foul, like death, in this right passageway here. And you guys as players, but maybe not your characters from where you're at, would be able to see that there are some bones and things in there as well. The left side, you're not sure. There's a left passage up here, a third passageway. From here, I think that you can't glean what's down that passageway, but you do know that there's a third one as well. So once you get past this initial goblin, you have some options on where you could proceed.
And how high up off the ground is that string?
The string, this goblin is like 20 feet off the ground, and this is probably like raised up like another few feet, so 20 to 25 feet. And then it sort of like trails downward to this, on this wall is another bell like nailed in there with a metal spike. That's probably like 10 feet off the ground, but the string like droops down so that people on the ground can reach the string. So the string gets down low. It's like a loose string, it's not taut. But you're meant to pull on it to ring the bell. Right. So you can reach it from the ground here near the bell. And then it sort of trails across here. 10 feet up again is another bell, but again, this is like a droopy string that could be reached from the ground if you just reach up and grab it.
If anything cuts that string, all the bells are going to fall. So.
Not necessarily. Fall.
Yes, they're attached
the
to the
bells
wall.
the bells are like rammed in there with an iron spike, but cutting the string is definitely going to be a check. It's not going to be free to cut it without setting it off. Right?
Mechanical question regarding cutting the string.
Sleight of hand, maybe.
If that does come up, does that count as an attack for the purpose of invisibility?
Shouldn't.
GM's call. It may not even come up. We may just decide we're all going to ready our ranged weapons and just pepper this guy and hope for the best.
An invisible person could go and
it will.
grab the bell.
It will.
It will.
I think.
Okay.
I do think that manipulating the string in terms of trying to sabotage it is going to end the invisibility spell.
Got it.
The spell ends for a target that attacks or casts. I think that's specifically that, like cutting something. Yeah, I think that's an attack. Just making an attack on the rope, basically.
Dagwin, hear me out. Cloud of daggers. One of them's bound to hit it.
I was thinking about it.
I think second level spell.
Get off the keyboard.
We wanna save that for you know, that's our magic tabs.
Save those for the end.
Save those for after we've beaten the campaign. Okay, so we've seen this guy, and then we backed out to discuss our approach. All right, guys.
I mean, you could absolutely just send Glenn in invisible.
We could scout out. It'll cost one of my 2 invisibilities for the day. It lasts an hour. It wouldn't be Glenn. It would likely be Savannah.
I'd be happy to do it as well, but
I think
I'm not very sneaky.
that's really it. Is just the 2 of you are very differently built. Savannah is much more stealth. Carla is much more strong kick.
Kicking strong. I mean, this problem can be solved with a strong kick. That's all I'm saying.
This is true.
Not be solved.
Like, just imagine Carla just invisibly climbs up 20 feet, gets right behind that guy, and just boots him.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
20-foot drop.
we could very easily get rid of this one guy, but what I'm more interested in learning about is what else is in there besides this one guy.
Yeah.
Well, I think somebody will have to go into the cave to find that out.
Yes.
To find
It's like, do we want to get
Whether
rid
that's
of this one
invisible
guy
or not.
first, or send someone in invisibly first? I think is
Yeah.
my main question is, do we take care of this guy first and then someone goes in, or do we send someone in and then when we're all ready to go in, take care of this guy?
Right. I'm down with sending someone in invisibly if Savannah is up for the challenge, because that is a very dangerous situation to be in. Behind enemy lines alone, relying on stealth, and not flubbing a roll.
We do know how the dice feel about me.
That's true. Okay.
But at the same time, I'm also have the fastest movement speed.
You can't
should
make a speedy
something
escape.
go wrong.
Yeah.
These are good points.
I'm probably the best candidate for this, and I'm willing to do it.
If I go, I would have to make constant rolls to see in the dark and not trip on something.
Guess Savannah's going.
All right.
Let's not risk alerting the sentry until after I've done some
Okay.
initial scouting.
And after that, we'll come back and... Yeah, well, at that point, you could get a nice, easy strike on it. With I don't know exactly what the mechanics are. Maybe it's just advantage, but that's still something.
Mhm.
All right.
I mean, it's an interesting thing. I think that, like, being invisible, you're not going to be able to be seen. Like, nobody's going to see you. But there's a possibility of you being heard. So you might still need to make a stealth check.
Mhm.
But if, the stakes would be lower failing that stealth check. It would just be like, somebody heard a noise,
What was
right?
that
It wouldn't be
sound?
like you were spotted. So even
have
if
been
you
the wind?
fail a stealth check, it's not, as bad as being seen.
All
I
right.
mean, you're pretty good at stealth. So there's still going to be a stealth check involved, but yeah, you'll be invisible.
+5. Yeah.
All right.
With +5 and with advantage from the invisibility. Should be fine.
All right.
Hopefully.
So Savannah, we'll go over what the plan is. You're gonna go in invisible. You're gonna scout out the different paths. I'm very worried that something around here could smell you as well. So be on your guard. I will be regularly casting Sending. You can choose to ignore it if you're in a situation where you cannot reply at all. If you are at any point need anything, whisper back a reply. We will hear it and take action.
All
What's
right.
the range on message?
Not great. 120 feet.
Okay.
But
not
I'm
bad.
hoping that's enough that at least I can keep a line of sight from
Yeah.
from a hiding spot that's, a little bit out of the cave and still see at least to the intersection.
Okay. So you cast invisibility on Savannah. Is there any other spells or buffs or anything that the party can give to Savannah before she heads in on her own?
party clap on the back.
Would you like a bardic inspiration while we're at it?
That might be good.
All right, that only lasts for 10 minutes. So,
I'm not planning on this being a long trip.
all right, you've got the die.
Okay, you just whisper a poem to me very quickly, and I run
Oh
off.
no, I'm getting out the accordion. Here we go.
He performs a whole one-man show for you.
It's Bohemian
out in the
Rhapsody.
snow. Okay, let's start this out with. Let me just get a stealth check with advantage from Savannah, just to get a general. How stealthily are we entering here?
19 plus 5.
Very stealthily. Okay, great. You move into the cave. Which path, are you interested in checking out first? I'm gonna require different perception checks for each of these, I think, to scout out each of these.
Okay, so this is 40 feet to where I am now. And I just want to kind of look around and see what I can see from here.
Which path are you interested in scouting out the most?
I don't know anything about the path to the left, but I just want to make a quick spot check each way to see kind of what I can see from here, since I'm kind of in the intersection. Before proceeding, I'm going to start with the left path over here.
Okay, make a
But
perception check.
I just want to look over here because it smells bad, and I want to see what I think that is. Okay, perception, you said. Normal?
Yep, just normal.
that almost was a 1 on my screen.
18. You are checking out these two paths. You look to the right, and you see that it appears like this is a place where they're throwing a lot of corpses and carcasses and waste and refuse, and it appears to be pretty gross in there. You see there's like a sort of a green light going on in here. But you do see, actually, that through there, there's sort of an indentation in the wall, in the back here.
Mm-hmm.
The wall is like recessed, and it appears there's actually like a small enough for one person to fit through passage back there. Something that a giant wouldn't be able to fit through. So like, well, it appears like while you're looking back there, it appears that there's a wall. Once you get a better look, you see that it's like, oh wait, there's actually like the wall sort of back a little bit, and you can go around it into this passageway. But it will require going through this noxious room here.
Yeah, we're sending Dorko back there. We're not sending Savannah back there.
But you discover that this middle passageway is wide. It looks like the passageway that Prometheus might use to go in and out. But this side passageway doesn't look like a place that he would maybe even know about exists because of his size.
Okay.
Checking in with Savannah, making sure she's still good.
Just constant.
Do you
messaging.
copy?
There's a very interesting death pit that we're going to need to send Dorko to the other side of.
Has to be
Sending
Dorko.
Dorko to the other side?
No!
Okay.
Okay, and then you're gonna check out the left path. So you creep around the left path. Give me another perception check. You can take a look over here, and you can see what you see there. But give me a perception check to get like sort of a read
Just
on,
behind the black.
on what you see.
Normal.
You start to creep around this path, and you stop yourself. You see sort of the low glow of a campfire down there, and some beds, some makeshift bed rolls. You see a pack of bugbears sleeping in there. They appear to be asleep right now, luckily. But you count 5 bugbears. Bugbears are a type of goblinoid creature.
Did you say 5?
5, yeah, there's 5 of them. Why is that not enough? Should there be more?
Maybe like one more would.
Oh wait, maybe there was one more I just missed.
Okay, success. All right, calm down. 5 is enough.
But it looks like, yeah, there's a bunch of guards, or troops sleeping over there right now. You don't want to wake them up.
Yeah, we're not gonna go that way. I can't control where Savannah is on the map right now.
Yeah, I have the game paused.
Okay.
So you don't go walking off too far into a place that will get you in trouble. So that's what you scout out from these 2 paths. Now you have the central path, which I'll put you back to the central path. I want you to make one more stealth check as you move into this central chamber, with advantage.
Stealth.
Is there a reason I can see a lot more than Dobbs can see right now?
I don't know why that is. I feel like
might be because you're over there.
Shared vision should be on, so you guys should be able to see what she sees. I wonder if you need to refresh or something.
Like, I see a lot more than Dobbs.
Yeah, I
mean,
can't.
You should be able to see everything.
I cannot see where Savannah
sees.
looked.
Yeah.
You should be able to.
Weird.
I also cannot.
Ooh. Hairball. This is Big Hat. Do you copy?
Might just be because of the darkness, maybe.
Yeah. There you go. It's probably just the darkness.
Although, I don't know why Glenn can see it.
He's one with the darkness.
Using my dev exit vision.
Why is that? Why is it not showing you what she sees?
I can see down the center hall. I can see all those beds over there. I can see the poison thing. I can see everything.
I see. Look what I've got
now.
here. I've got this weird little.
Yeah, I see now.
There's some light in there.
Oh, okay.
That's why you're able to see that.
What do we got on the left path?
Shh, I'll get back to you in a minute.
Sorry, I was
Prometheus is sitting in a
something.
purple Cadillac.
like Bowser?
I had to reload.
At one time?
I right-clicked on myself, and it seemed to do something.
Oh, do you have yourself selected? Maybe that's what it is. You
I went
right-clicked on yourself?
I went into the options on myself, and everything lit up.
Vision mode.
Which is vision.
Advanced options. Detection mode. Basic
See, like, a
configuration.
shared vision.
I do not see shared vision as a thing, but that's fine.
But as I had that menu open, it showed everything else on the map to me. Well, not everything else, but everything that Savannah has seen.
That did just suddenly pop things that made things update a bit.
Yeah, not everything. Okay, weird, but that's better. Okay, Savannah, back to your stealth mission. That's 19 is fine. You move into the cavern. You see. I don't know if everybody else can see that.
There's a lot going on.
I can't fire. Oh yeah, you can kind of see a little bit.
Well,
you can't see
Dorian
everything
can't
that she
see
sees.
it, so I shouldn't actually,
Yeah, that makes sense. Although I do have shared vision on. A massive campfire in front of you here, illuminating this chamber here. Prometheus is sitting at the fire there. You see that he's sort of like poking. There's like a big haunch of meat over the fire that he's sort of like poking out with a stick, cooking himself something. You see another goblin over here as you pass it in, waiting by another bell. And you also see up on a cliff, another elevated area, another goblin keeping a watch over here.
Sorry, did you say Prometheus is in there?
Prometheus is here right now.
Oh,
Yep.
Great. Cool. Interesting.
Prometheus is here sitting at his campfire. He's sort of like picking his teeth, just sort of like spits off to the side. He's like just relaxing, making himself some meat. You see a dead horse over here.
We can't beat that.
You can't beat that. No. Next to what looks like a sleeping area, you see like a big elevated thing of water that appears to be like maybe like a bath or something that he uses. And you see, let me move you a little bit further in because you're invisible. You pass your stealth check, so you can see all of this. Yeah, you've seen everything here. You see he's got an aurochs sort of tied up over here as well.
No.
In the back of the cavern. It just seems to be like grazing on some moss. But you see behind the aurochs, you see a sort of a faint golden glow of light coming from the very, very back of the cavern. behind the aurochs.
I don't feel comfortable trying to stealth past an aurochs.
So you see the main. This is sort of the main chamber of where Prometheus lives. He's sort of got his fire here. He's got like a bath. He's got a little sleeping pile of hay. He's got some like food. You see some like weapons and bones everywhere. And he's got like a big pile of firewood over here too, and some cages that are currently empty right now.
If
Alright,
we
I
started
want
any kind of
token.
I want to fall back.
Okay, great. Savannah falls back.
Hairball, come
And
in.
rejoins the group.
This is Big Hat.
She's right behind you, invisible.
All right, so
Hello?
we're back well outside of the.
Yeah. Pass all your stealth
Alright.
checks. Nobody knows you were in there. You get a lot of good information. Give me one last perception check for when you were in that room, real quick. Actually. He had the orb sitting right in front of him, like on the stones of the fire.
That is definitely something I was interested in.
Yeah.
Like
You
imagine.
saw it.
if we just
He had it set down
grabbed
like
it and ran.
directly in front of him, though. Like not, like he,
Yeah.
like it's like sitting in the fire almost. You saw it.
He's charging it with the heat.
Okay, I relay all of this information. Grab a stick and start drawing like a diagram in the snow. Tell them about the death pit, and I make a point to say I think Dorko is the only one small enough to get through this passageway to see what's back here and the death warp.
It's like 5 feet across. Dorko's the only one that can fit.
It's wide enough
And
for one person to go through at a time, basically.
we're
So
sending
all
the
of us
goblin.
could go through.
Yeah,
We're sending the goblin
we're sending the
through the
goblin.
death pit because I'm not sure we
It's
can
stinky.
breathe. I'm not sure we can breathe, so we're going to send the expendable one
We're
first.
gonna get Dorko in here.
Take
We get
that
Dorko on
back. Okay. No,
But that's a low priority. That's scouting.
Yeah.
I saw the orb. That's our main goal.
Mm-hmm.
So what we might do, I'm still invisible technically, and I've only been gone like 20 minutes, so I should have plenty of time left. If y'all want to just
Yeah, you're still invisible.
create a distraction, I can go back and just like grab the thing.
I think at the first distraction we make, if Prometheus feels like he needs to leave, he's not going to leave the orb.
Yeah, he'll definitely take it with him.
If he does take it with him, we're dead. If he doesn't, he's an idiot. So I mean, it's very high risk reward.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
It's like that would be amazing, but I feel like if he's thinking that anyone is here, that he needs to tend to it, he's bringing that thing.
I guess maybe it would come down to how good of a distraction this potentially is. If it was
We
a
have
really,
to
really
put
high
on
roll.
the best talent show this cave has ever seen.
There's also multiple goblins on these bells, manning these bells as well.
And
that you have to
I
attend
also
to.
mentioned the 5 dudes. I mean,
So there's one here.
we could just
and
wait for him to take a bath or go to
there's
bed.
one up here.
It's an option.
Wait, do we still have a sleeping potion?
I don't know. Do you? Maybe. Did you guys have a sleeping potion?
I don't know if we ever had a sleeping potion.
Turtle
You guys
has
ever
it.
have one of those?
No.
He
that
had a
was
love
something
potion.
else.
Yeah.
I don't think we want that.
A truth
No.
serum. I think somebody has a truth serum.
I've
or
still got
something.
that for a rainy day.
If you want to drop a truth serum on him.
I don't think that help.
Truth or dare? Oh, I can't pick truth because of the potion. A dare you to give us the orb. Problem solved.
Yeah, I don't think that's how
Um,
that works.
Okay, so you mentioned that passageway. Do we think perhaps that's just a shortcut or the passageway to get to this higher alcove in
I think
Prometheus' room?
that's Yeah, I think that's fair to say. You think that passageway will lead up to this elevated area in Prometheus's room behind this goblin here. There's a goblin up there.
Mm-hmm. So as far
Also,
as layout,
20 feet up.
yeah, as far as layout, the one thing we're not sure about, it looks like there is some kind of back way in over here. Perhaps
It feels safe trying to get past the Auroch, because the Auroch would smell me.
that's true.
But also, that Auroch's gonna be his dinner if we don't do something.
Well, we can't let that happen.
Like, that's the top priority, is getting him out of there. Gotta blow up the Auroch heist.
Yeah. Okay. Notably, the bugbears. That's a thin corridor that they're behind. And I've seen Dagwin do some amazing stuff with magical daggers.
Mm-hmm.
So we can keep them under control a little bit if all hell breaks loose. I really feel like Prometheus is the only true threat here.
Oh, is that so?
Yes.
That's so.
And it's not because the other things aren't a threat. It's because Prometheus is such a threat. Even without the orb. With the orb, I feel like we could get absolutely TPK'd in one round. Gosh.
Maybe I should have just untied the Auroch. And, like,
That's
let
not
it run rampant.
That would be a distraction, wouldn't it?
And it wouldn't be an alarming distraction.
Yeah, like, hey, the rope got loose. That's weird. I'll just go over there and not notice and not even think about touching the orb since the alarm hasn't gone. See, that's the kind of distraction that I would believe could work. If we start banging pots and pans in the entrance, he's going to grab the orb because he's expecting problems. If the Auroch happens to get a little bit loose, that is something. That is something.
I'm pretty sure untying that is the same thing as messing with the bells.
Well, with the bells, it was
not
actually
invisible anymore.
cutting it. This we're assuming is more of a knot.
Untying situation.
Yeah.
Cutting. Don't have to use an object to do it.
Right. Do we think we could pull that off? And by we, I mean you?
Then do we have to cast invisibility on a second person to sneak in and steal the orb?
I would assume it would be untie the orb, wait for up to 30 minutes. Or untie the rope, wait for up to 30 minutes for him to notice. And then take that opportunity to grab, and then we just hightail it, like beeline for the lake. Not stopping for anything. Is this something we could we pull this off?
No, but let's do it.
I love it. No, but let's do it.
Okay, we need to determine how much time is left on my invisibility spell.
All right, who's been watching the hourglass?
Halfway, maybe.
Okay, so about 30 minutes.
Yeah. But you guys have been strategizing.
Yeah, we did take some time to strategy. Yeah, I think this could work. All right, there is light in there. Just blow him up. It would barely scratch him. Since we've confirmed there is light in there, Glane could go, but I don't know if there's any advantage to having more people.
Well, because she would be up.
What if the person you send in gets caught?
Well, that's gonna suck.
Goodbye.
We've taken that risk once.
That was just a scouting mission.
That was
Now
just
you're
a
trying to
scouting mission.
steal
Now we're trying to actually do
something.
something. Cloak and dagger spy play here. Sit in the intel room, wait for the NG to walk away.
Big things with my axe.
All right, Glane,
Do we
what's
start
your
taking
thought
out
on this?
goblins?
Yeah, Glane, what's your thought on this?
Huh.
I haven't heard your opinion on these matters. You're a master of stealth, so I want to know. You've got a history of thievery. Yeah, I feel like we have a little bit of leeway with no alarms being rung. I do not believe that Prometheus will leave the orb if he perceives an actual threat. I think a slight distraction, though.
If Dorko were to be in this cave, would he be seen as a threat, or would he be seen as an orc?
He's a goblin, first of all.
Or
Yeah, he's a goblin. That's a great question. He might not immediately raise alarms if he gets caught. They might be a hey, who are you? Kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Because he is not an orb-worthy threat.
Can he talk his way out of it? Maybe.
Do you trust him?
I think that yes, there is an extent to like if you sent him in and he did get caught, he probably wouldn't be instantly like raising the alarms. They might be like, "What are you doing here? We don't recognize you," and then maybe he can make a roll to like, that somebody who's not a goblin might not get to make.
Like if he were to tumble through the other
something.
side of the poison tunnel and just kind of comically, oh, hello. Like they would all get up and approach him, probably without the orb, and they would leave it behind.
Dorko. Studio audience applause.
Have you seen my wolf? I'm looking for my wolf.
You can definitely send Dorko into Goblo. Yeah, Goblo's his brother. To make a distraction, like if that's what you want to do. Yeah, I'm not so sure. There's a big assumption here that it's like he'll leave the orb behind, which I'm not going to tell you that that's going to happen. That he's going to leave the orb behind. Over Dorko.
But I mean, I think he would grab it if he felt he needed it, and for him, I think we got this. Like I think they would feel
a trick.
Glane pretended he was coming to him for advice about his cat that got all messed up.
Ooh.
Like,
I'm not reminding him about my cat. My cat is saved. We are good. We're not dragging Gary into this.
That's an option. Yeah, you can go in and talk to him.
Oh, jeez. I feel like if Prometheus saw any of us, he would be clinging to that orb just as just as holding it as a threat the whole time.
The last
even
time
if he
saw us, he threw a forest at us.
That's true. That did happen once. So.
Well, yeah, because you were mean to him.
He was neutral.
He was
neutral.
Friendly. He was making you a friendly offer to join him or to die.
That we wanted to join his side, or one of us wants to join his side, and distract him that way.
I feel like he'd be holding that orb like a Bond villain cat.
You want to send Savannah in to do the mission?
Or do you want to do the Dorko tumble plan?
I would prefer Savannah go.
I feel like Dorko's too much of a wild
I think that we put it all on Dorko.
All in on Dorko.
Let's not put
all right.
it all on Dorko.
Savannah,
Let's not rely on the NPC.
This is probably the riskiest thing you've ever done. Are you comfortable with this?
Sure, I can reroll a new character.
9 lives.
That's true. The Tabaxi are big into reincarnation. I'm not basing that off anything. Dorian has no idea.
Yeah, Savannah also saw a shiny.
Oh, what do they do in the cartoons?
A shiny golden glow coming from the back of the cavern behind the aurochs. Unrelated to the orb. The orb is a prize, but you definitely saw the sparkling of something shiny.
There's probably loot behind the aura.
I mean, as nice as that would be. Yeah.
Well,
what do they do in the cartoons? We need to get Dorko dressed up as a girl Cyclops and walk in and then do a Bugs Bunny. I see no problem. All right, Savannah.
20 minutes left on the invisibility.
Yeah. Don't leave some wiggle room, please, on the invisibility. I can't keep this up for too long. I have nothing else. We're gonna attempt this. If it works, it's a huge payoff, and we have a chance for the final showdown. If it fails, then boy, it's gonna be a heck of a showdown next time, and we're probably gonna lose a few good goblins.
Okay. What exactly are you attempting to do, Savannah?
I'm going to go untie the Auroch and attempt to, set it free and just kind of encourage it to go make a ruckus.
Okay, great. First, give me a stealth check. Go ahead and roll that with advantage.
That's not a 1. I keep seeing ones.
At 20.
Nat 20 plus 5 is a 25.
That's pretty
Well,
good. That's pretty good.
You are able to get anywhere in the cavern that you want to be. As you enter back in here to go approach the Auroch, you see that Prometheus seems to be gone.
Uh-oh.
There's nowhere he could have went.
Hairball, this is Big Hat. Do you read me?
Spot.
Is the orb gone?
He's gone.
Yes, the orb appears to be gone as well. You can go attempt to untie the Auroch.
What the heck? Where did he?
Or do you want to search the cavern?
I need to search the cavern. Like, I guess I check the bath area? Is he using it to heat his
give me a
bath
perception
water?
check.
He uses this mystical artifact to heat up his bath. That is that would be a very Prometheus thing.
You said perception?
Yep. Yeah, just like you just said a second ago. You pause for a second and wonder where could he possibly be? You see bloop, bloop, bubbles coming up from the bath, and you see that he sort of emerges from the bath. The orb is in his hand, and he sort of leans back, and he's not. You're past your stealth. You got a nat 20 stealth check, so he's not like even looking around the cavern. He's relaxing in the bath. It seems. It's like a hot tub. It's like bubbling. I wonder if I have something here.
Some bubble soundtrack.
No, not that.
Oh,
Just
okay.
like something an orb to show.
Oh,
the orb
gotcha. Yeah.
He takes the orb and he sets it down, right here. If I can figure out how to draw, right here. On the lip of the bath. This is a good 15 feet up in the air here. There's like a step, like a giant size step that's like, halfway up, and then another sort of thing you'll have to clamber up. But he sets it down, and he seems to not really, he's not watching it all that closely right this second. But it's within his reach.
If only I brought my potion of extreme bubble bath.
There's just so much bubbles that he can't
Yeah.
see anything.
Okay, I abandoned the Auroch plan. I need to look at my spells list for a minute.
This is very tense. Would you truly cast a spell and end your invisibility?
Only if it became absolutely necessary. Right now, I am making sure what my plan B is.
Surely I have some magical orb things in my assets. Like, there's gotta be something. I'm like scouring all my pottery, furniture. There's gotta be something in here that's a magical orb.
Yeah, and no matter what you pick, if it's not exactly a magic orb, it's going to be the canon face of the magic orb from now on.
This is something to ponder.
So what does Savannah want to do? Tough call. D&D's a hard game.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to silently whisper a prayer to Saloon, and
Oh, this is it.
she's going to move kind of over to the bottom step, and it's too far to reach, right?
You're gonna have to climb up there.
Okay.
Tabaxis are great climbers. It's fine. Nat 1.
So, if I were to just kind of reach up with my sickle and just kind of tap it so that it rolled, would I be able to do that?
You're gonna have to get closer. Then you're gonna have to climb up at least one more, up to at least the first step.
The orb.
All right, there we go. Got
There
the
it
orb in here.
is. Look at that orb.
Got it. There
That
it
is
is.
an orb.
All right.
So it'll be an acrobatics check to climb up, and then to do that, it's gonna be another check. Probably sleight of hand to grab it.
All right, acrobatics. I guess it's not really with advantage because I have to be quiet.
Just remember all the
No, it's not with advantage.
sick poems I was reading moments ago, and be inspired.
A 10. It's not that difficult of a climb. A 10 gets you up there, but what I'm going to need from you on a 10 is I'm going to need a stealth check with... Not with advantage. Just a straight stealth check.
15.
Okay. Prometheus is going to make a perception check.
There's one
which is
big
This is
bubbly eye.
this is good for you, in a sense, because he does not have the best perception as a Cyclops. He's actually quite bad at it.
Depth perception is not their strong suit.
If I can get it to let me roll his freaking skill here. They changed to NPC skills, and it's annoying. Okay, I'm just gonna roll it. He's adding a -2 to this. Great, you climb up a little bit. It makes like a little bit of noise, but he's like moving in the water a little bit. It masks the noise. He doesn't see you, so that you see the orb sitting right above you. It's within your grasp. Prometheus is lounging in the water. You hear heavy breathing. You just feel like that the movement is something so much bigger than you that it feels like so slow, but it just has like a wind to it almost as he moves. You just feel this presence here in the water,
Hobbit
feet
moment.
away from you. To grab this orb, it's going to be a sleight of hand check. It's going to be a DC
Ooh, I'm having trouble watching.
15 sleight of hand check, which isn't that bad. So DC 15 to take this orb.
It's a lot riding on it. Inspiration.
I get to add a d6 with that, right?
Have the bardic inspiration.
Yeah.
Is that still going? How long does that last?
10 minutes if it wasn't. Then I'd
When did
like,
you give her that?
Then I what?
When did you give her that?
I don't know if that was before the first one or
Is
if
this a D6?
it's a D6 or
Alright,
if we
that's
re-upped
fine. We'll
it.
say that you gave it to her. You could say you gave it to her.
Okay.
Yeah, roll D6. Just barely. Imagine it was a 1. You take your sickle up there, slide it behind the orb, slide it towards you. The orb falls off the side of the thing. Prometheus does not notice. You have the orb of Caldoris in your hands.
Leave.
Leaving, running, getting the hell out of Dodge as quickly as possible.
Okay, I'm gonna need one last stealth check. Straight, not with advantage, against one final perception check from Prometheus as you leave.
Oh no.
All right, guys, get ready.
He subtracts 2 from this, right? I'm gonna roll a d20, and we're gonna whatever it is, we're gonna subtract 2.
Oh.
It said Savannah rolled it, but
Yeah,
I had to select it. Incredible. 10 minus 2 is an 8. Savannah, you scurry out of there with the orb in hand. You have the orb of Caldoris.
Get out of there.
So we're gonna give it to the centaur, right?
Yeah, almost certainly. Okay. Guys,
You
can
see
we leave?
Savannah emerge from the cave. Her invisibility ends. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Her hour comes up.
I cannot concentrate anymore.
You guys get out of there. What's the plan?
Leave for the lake. Summon the druid. On the way. Maybe not on the way. When we get to the lake.
Yeah.
Give her
You
an orb.
hear that, once again, not Savannah rolling, but that's
Yeah.
another perception check for Prometheus. You hear from inside the cave a colossal roar.
Oh, I
You hear crashing, smashing.
Okay. What if
Run.
As you think Prometheus has noticed that the orb is missing. I'll
What if-
kill you!
what if we let
I'll
her
find
run
you!
with
He's like,
the
you hear
orb
just smashing of things, and
and
goblins are
summon
like
the
running
druid
out.
while the rest of us stay and
Oh.
slow him down at least?
Are we faster than Prometheus?
No.
They
No.
still don't know we're here.
Yeah, he doesn't know where it is.
Yeah, I guess
They don't
he
even know
knows
who
it's
did this.
gone.
Yeah, he doesn't know who. He doesn't
He
know.
just says, notice it's
how.
gone. Yes, and he's like tearing up his cave.
Yeah, he's like,
You hear him
where did I
screaming in
leave
there.
it?
The ground is rumbling.
Yeah, we have.
We just
Well,
need
let's
to
get out.
GTFO.
Yeah, I think we
Yeah.
have a head start. Any attempts we make to slow them down with like entangle or anything is gonna
Will
bite
reveal
us.
us.
Yeah, it will reveal us. Let's just leave. Beeline for the bridge.
Okay.
I don't know if we've got anything we can use along the way.
If they catch up to us, we can use the orb.
Well, we don't know how, but we'll figure something out.
I have a bonus arcana.
Great.
I think if they catch up to us, we should let Savannah keep going
She is the
while
fastest.
the rest of us try to hold him off.
Yeah, or something.
Or
Okay,
distract
so
him.
can we go back to the big map?
Yeah, let's go back to the big map.
If we make
Okay.
it to the bridge, we can
So
cut the
we are-
ropes.
Put on some.
We are in the cave mouth. I suggest
some
we
music.
exit the cave and head immediately into kind of the brackish, like, not brackish, that's not the right word, but the rougher territory. And kind of give it a minute for them to because he's going to start by interrogating and like murdering all of his goblins he has there.
Yeah. I say we have a few minutes.
Yeah. We just need to get far enough away to give it to the druid. And then hopefully further than that.
As you guys are leaving, you see, I don't know how fast you're going. We seem a little bit hesitant actually to leave, but Prometheus emerges from the cave.
Oh, great.
I'll find you. Where are they? Spread out. You hear him commanding men, bugbears rushing out of the cave, goblins.
Let's go.
Yeah, we're leaving.
You
We
see
are
he
leaving.
pulls out
Yeah,
out like a
bridge.
big horn, like an auroch horn, like you reverberating horns. You hear horns in the distance, responding to his call. You guys are.
We've stirred up the
knows that-
hive.
Yes, the hive has been kicked. Yeah. You guys rush out of there towards the bridge.
Mhm.
To the bridge.
Okay, great. What's the order that we're going over this bridge or crossing the bridge
Who
again?
goes first?
I will cross last, and I will shoot arrows at anyone who gets close.
I'll do second to last.
Dagwin, ready the daggers
Yeah.
around the start of the bridge.
Um,
I think this is an everybody goes.
Yeah, that's true.
everybody's just
Yeah.
going.
Quick, rope. Get the rope ready. Buddy up. I don't know.
Vanna just goes. She's the
Go!
one holding
You
the
go!
thing.
All right, roll an acrobatics check. I don't know what happened to my NPC skills. They're just gone. Okay, here we go. Dorko's gonna roll acrobatics.
18.
Dorko's fine.
Going?
Vanna, Dorko rushing across. Who's next?
I need to be able to catch. I've got the magic for catching if anybody's falling.
Yeah, I guess I'll just go.
11, you get halfway.
Alright. Should I roll
No, you don't fall or anything though.
Okay. Just don't make it all the way in one go.
You have to do one more check to get to the end.
There you go.
You make it. Yeah, you make it over. 18.
All right.
Footsteps coming up behind you.
Great. Cool. Glane? Dag? You guys ready?
I'll go next.
That's not great.
Dagwin, his foot slips through a cracked thing.
6.
Dagwin, I need you to make a dexterity save.
Whew.
You catch yourself. You manage to get back up. You're halfway across. You'll need to make one more acrobatics check to make the rest of the distance. You're stumbling across, panicking. I need you to make another dex save as you slip again. 14 is good enough. It's good enough. You make it across. Just waiting for somebody to roll another nat 1. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
Shall we?
You look and see the gates of Lod behind you. You see coming over the horizon the head of Prometheus. Glane, you slip. You're gonna need to make a dexterity save. Glane slips off the edge.
Am I within range for sleight of hand here?
I don't think so. No, I think I think you haven't gone over anywhere yet. I don't think anybody's in range of Glane.
See you, Glane.
Specifically, the way you guys went. Glane is falling. Glane begins to fall into the chasm.
All right. I've got a bonus action of Featherfall. I can target up to 5 falling creatures instantly. No casting time.
Right.
That lasts for 1 minute on the falling creature, slowing them down so they won't take damage falling.
So, Glane, you feel yourself slip. You attempt to catch onto the rope. The rope slips from your hand. You begin to fall, but you feel the spell come over you, and you drift downward to the other side of the chasm. But you're like you stop on the cliff wall. You manage to catch yourself on like a rocky outcropping, but you're like 50 feet below your party, like deep in the chasm. But you're on the side of your party, but you're going to need to find your way up the side of this chasm.
Throw him some rope!
Somehow.
I'll throw a rope down to him.
All right, and I'll be running, if you don't mind.
Yeah, make an acrobatics check.
I've got another 11.
11 will get you halfway with no incidents.
I've got another Featherfall in the bank as insurance. And 11. Consistence.
You make it to the end. Yeah, you.
Yeah, Savannah has not broken pace. Savannah's not broken pace. She didn't wait for the rest of the party.
Good. Get out of here.
She's like halfway to the lake.
Well.
Hopefully.
You guys look over the side. You see Glane still down there. Prometheus and his men rush up towards the bridge. A bunch of bugbears. He's got like 6 bugbears.
Well, of course.
And some goblins with him.
Carla, help me with the rope.
All right.
Dag
sees you guys.
The bridge.
I put a cloud of daggers in the middle of the bridge.
Cloud of daggers does not have a saving throw. Does that affect objects though? Would that cut objects?
Oh, that's a DM fight there.
I'll say if you're dropping the spell slot on cloud of daggers, that's good enough for me, I think. And to say a creature, I don't think technically that's what it's for, but I'll allow you to use that resource. A swarm of icy daggers start cutting ropes. A couple goblins are like already crossing across. The bridge like snaps and begins to. Goblins go careening into the chasm. Prometheus stops on the other side of the cliff, 100 yards from you guys. Glane is still down there. Is Glane going?
Fly.
He's going to throw a rock at Glane. Who's climbing up. He picks up a giant boulder, and he's going to make an attack roll with this rock here.
Cast rock.
He's going to make this with disadvantage because his perception is not so great. Incredible. Absolutely incredible roll on his part. A 2 and a 3. A giant boulder comes smashing into the side of the cliff. Something that surely would have smushed you, Glane. Go ahead and make an acrobatics check to climb up here.
Okay, there we go. Get up here. And we'll be pulling hard.
You pull Glane up on a 17. He scrambles up the side of the cliff.
Go, let's go!
Prometheus stares daggers at you guys. For lack of
Oh no!
pun
He can do that?
Pun intended. As you rush away from there, you see him start to back up.
Okay.
And retreat. He is going to jump.
He finds.
Yeah, he's going to make an acrobatics check.
He finds the staircase nearby and starts going.
Yeah,
What?
You guys rush out of there. You guys rush out of there. He starts doing BLJ. He clips through the wall. He gets a 1 star.
Oh no.
Where do you guys go? You've evaded him. You've evaded Prometheus for a short moment as you've cut the bridge, slowing him down.
Yeah, we've caught some time. Our goal is still the lake.
The lake, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The lake is nearby. You guys rush over there.
I summon Laura, because I think I'm the one with the flute.
Sure, you play the flute and call her. Everybody except for Savannah, I need a Constitution save with advantage.
Dag, no!
Is that everybody?
1, 2, 3, 4.
You guys are rushing towards the lake, sprinting for your lives. Prometheus in pursuit. Dagwin, you suffer a point of exhaustion. Which just is ability checks, I think, at first level.
That's something.
As you are pushing yourselves to the limit, racing to this lake here. Savannah, you arrive a little bit ahead of your party. Where's my Valmora token? Let's get her on the map. She's huge because she's a centaur. She meets you by the shore of the lake. She comes like sprinting out of the trees.
I'm going to.
Have the orb.
Don't be a villain. Don't be a villain. Don't be a villain.
I show her the orb. I'm like, Cyclops. I'm like gasping for air as I like drop to my knees, panting, and like cradling it close. The others are coming. Prometheus is chasing them. We're gonna need help. Just like gasping for air, trying to spit the words out as quickly as possible.
She says, help we shall have. Mother Nature will provide. She says, come. I need you to help me prepare the ritual circle. And she walks out onto this frozen lake. You see the Fireblood Lake here. You're on the shore. It's just this huge frozen lake, frozen over on the top, and it's thick ice. You can see that Valmoria walks onto it without really fear of falling through. But there's like ice crystals that are like jutting out of the lake, and you see dark shadows like moving in and out of view beneath the ice. Big, huge aquatic creatures moving around in a faint red glow. She walks out into the middle of the lake. The lake is like, it's pretty big. It's a pretty large lake. It's like thousands of feet across. But she just begins to walk out there.
I
Says, "Come with
follow.
me."
I'm going to obey.
Great. She leads you out onto the lake. It's a situation that might normally be unsettling to be here, but you feel that Valmoira has a calming effect as you travel with her across the lake here. There's dangerous creatures living in this lake, but you have her as an ally. The rest of you guys show up at the lake, and you see Valmoira and Savannah out in the distance, sort of like dots in the distance. Dagwin's exhausted. What do you guys do?
Oh boy.
I guess we ask them if they need help.
What are they up to? Oh, sending.
Yes, please do that.
We've made it. What's going on out there?
We're setting up a ritual circle. Back to the goblins and get them ready. We're about to have help.
Roger, Roger. Glad you made it. All right. The goblins are supposed to meet us here. If they... We don't know what happened with the goblins, but if all went well, they're supposed to meet us here.
That's true. And they do. They're all here.
Look!
You said the goblins show up.
To the east!
Coming out of from like the other side of the lake, you see all these goblins coming out of the forest, in various states of battle, weariness. Robert Goblin, obviously, he's a hero. You guys can just tell at a distance that he was so heroic.
It's him!
To your left.
Prometheus shows up as well on the other side.
Looks like he's gonna have to
And-
jump.
His forces. You guys are already past the cavern. Yeah, he's found a way past over it. Presumably he jumped. Maybe he knows another way. But he, some time passes. He shows up as well with his forces. And there's sort of a standoff here. There's so many tokens out on the map here, but they're not really to scale.
Yeah.
But you're all on the shore of this massive lake, except for Savannah and Valmoira, who are on the lake itself. And you sort of have this like moment where you guys are standing on the shoreline. From one side is coming your troops, from the other side is coming Prometheus and his troops. Valmoira tells you, Savannah, that you need to get Prometheus out onto the lake.
So is she gonna tell you that?
I don't think Savannah has sending on her own, so it's
I do not.
usually that I just kind of periodically ping her.
Was she motioning to us frantically then?
Let me go take a look.
Yeah, she's gonna be like waving y'all out onto the ice. Like, now here, come. She's making very clear, come hither motions.
Heading out on the
That would not
lake.
have been the best phrasing, but yeah, you know what I meant.
Prometheus approaches you all. You took something of mine. I did have it back.
You
Hand it
call that
over.
an orb? Now this is an orb.
Hand it over.
It's out on the ice.
You want it? Come and get it. All right, guys, we really should.
From over there.
We should run.
Correction, we took two things, and I get on the ice.
Which thing? What's the second thing?
He's very curious.
You took something else.
Alright, so we all moving on to the ice?
I think so.
Alright.
He chases after you onto the ice. Underneath his weight, the ice is creaking and crunching, but it does seem to support all of you just fine. The ice is very thick here. This lake is so frozen over. You are, Savannah, helping Valmoira set up this ritual circle. You're setting up some like reagents and drawing these runes. And she says, "I'm going to commune with the Remoras of this lake, and it will aid us. You have to keep the goblins off of me. If they interrupt the spell, the Remoras could turn on any of us."
Oh no. Wave defense.
Well, Prometheus, your goblins and his goblins meet each other in battle, but his forces look severely diminished from the last times you saw them.
Did it.
Not as many troops as you would have expected aid his call. He's got the bugbears with him. He's got some goblins with him. You see a couple of... we might roll something to see how many troops actually rally with him on the battle. We might roll to resolve that, but we'll do that in just a second. Yeah, you see that he chases you out on there. He doesn't have the kind of backup that he thinks he has. He's pissed off. He's like chasing you down. You take position around Valmoira. You see that he comes up to you wielding this huge club. You made a big mistake messing with me. I'm gonna teach you something. There's only one rule in this world. The strong devour the weak. Valmoira raises her staff, slams it into the ice, and there's a reverberation of this green druidic magic. It's like flowers and things start sprouting from the ice. There's a pregnant pause for a moment as Prometheus sort of looks around. Is that all you got? And then a huge worm comes bursting from the ice, grabs Prometheus, the bottom half of him in the jaws of the worm, and blasts onto him and begins to pull him. It does not kill him.
Oh, great.
Oops, hold on. Sorry, I got two songs playing here. I'll just make sure everybody can see everything. Yeah, I think we're good vision-wise. You see the massive maw of this worm, bigger than Prometheus, and who knows how big it is underneath the ice, latches up around him. He's locked in place by the jaws of this worm. From the waist down, this dune-looking ice worm has him in his jaws. You see like a red glow of fire coming from beneath him in its maw. Let's roll something to see how many troops are here to support Prometheus here. Here's what I'm going to say. The bugbears are going to be here, I think.
Yeah.
Because you guys didn't do anything about them.
Nope.
But you guys were passing all the other checks. Where's my guy? Bugbears. And then they had sort of their captain here. Oh, he's not asleep anymore, though.
No.
There's only 5 of them. There's not 6.
That's too bad.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's only 5. I think that's it. I think it's just the bugbears. I think that the successes and all your other rolls means that he does not have... You didn't kill them all, but your goblin forces have them tied up, and there are any other reinforcements here to help him. Let's get everybody in initiative order. I don't know, we're not going to be able to do this full battle today, so I don't know how far we want to go.
Do we
here.
even want to start?
Yeah, I mean that's what I was wondering too. We might not even want to
fill
start.
a whole session for the finale.
I'm gonna just do one. I'm just gonna do one initiative for the bugbears.
Okay.
And then the bugbear captain, whose name is Chadwick Braun. If anybody cares.
Why do you always give them names? It makes me feel so guilty.
These are real people. He's got a whole backstory. He used to work for a pirate captain. Yeah, he's got a whole thing. Chadwick Braun, yeah.
You know what? You could always decapitate him non-lethally.
He's got 80 kids.
Probably, yeah. He's probably got a lot of kids. Let's go ahead and roll initiative just to see what it's going to look like, and I think that we'll stop here. And I'll tell you maybe a little bit about the mechanics of this battle, and then I think that'll be it.
Right off of that 20. Oh, that was someone else that got that bad roll. Oh, that was Dagwin.
So,
Ooh.
what's the initiative looking like? Chadwick Braun's going first, but then you guys have a good string here. Valmoira is going to roll initiative as well. Almost forgot her. Okay, she's at the end. Great. This will be your first proper boss battle here. But there's some extra mechanics going on here.
Tell me Dorko wasn't a boss battle.
I guess, should we have Dorko here? Should Dorko be in the battle? Did you
afraid
guys bring
so.
Dorko with you? We can get him in here.
He
It's up to
crossed the
you.
bridge with us.
He's been following us around. Might as well.
Unless he went to join the other guy.
Great.
It's so dangerous for him. So dangerous for him. But let's get him in here.
Me. Oh no.
Hey, he goes first on initiative.
Hey! MVP.
Okay, so
Well-
here's some things. An interesting thing is that he doesn't have the orb, which takes away one of the mechanics of this fight, which was you would have been able to try to grapple the orb from him as he's trapped here. But you have that available right now. You already have the orb. He is trapped by this worm. Every round, at the top of the round, the worm is going to do damage to him. You can use an action to make an animal handling check to get the worm to do damage to him immediately as part of your turn. It may be more damage than you can do with your own action. So you may feel that that's a strategic move. He can still take actions, but he cannot move. He has no movement. If you hit him, if you call your shot and hit him with a piercing attack, attack that does piercing damage, and you do this attack with disadvantage, you can attempt to blind his one eye. But the attack has to be rolled with disadvantage. It cannot be given advantage to cancel it out. It has to be, you have to choose to take disadvantage to call your shot, and it has to be a piercing weapon. You can aim for his eye. If you hit him with an attack that does piercing, no matter how much damage it does, you can take out his eye, which will further weaken him, obviously. At the top of the round, let's have Savannah roll 6d6 for me. This will happen at initiative order 20 as a lair action.
$66.
6d6, yep.
Satisfying.
Prometheus, immediately upon this worm coming up, chomping into him, takes 15 points of acid damage from the worm. Right off the bat. And that will happen at the top of every round as long as he doesn't free himself or his allies free him from this worm. So I'm just putting that in right now. He's going to start off 15 points down. He still looks like he has a lot of juice in him, but he looks weakened. Some of his abilities are not as strong as they were in this state. So he's a much more manageable foe for you guys. He's not going to hit as hard, but he's still very dangerous, and he has his allies with him. So that's what we'll pick up next time. Protect the druid, keep him in the worm, take him out. This is it.
I think some very cool things the Dagwood can do with an immobile creature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'd like to take a long rest on the ice so I can switch to the animal handling real quick before the fight.
You also have the orb, which nobody's attempted to interact with yet, but you have
Nope.
have that in your possession.
Oh, I thought
I do.
I thought we gave it to Valmoira, but no, that was just she was just going out on the ice to start the circle. That has nothing to
Yep.
do with the orb, huh?
I have it. And I might try to use it.
Nuke him!
Just don't kill the worm.
Savannah casts Entangle, breaks the fight. Somehow they all cluster up.
What it looks like underneath him.
Oh, look at that. Nice.
Or like,
Sarlacc.
It's like a Sarlacc, yeah, he's getting Sarlacked.
Get
getting ice
Sarlacc,
Sarlacced.
nerd.
Sarlacked idiot.
Oh.
That means this won't kill him then.
Because of Star Wars.
Yeah.
As you see.
You're right. This is not lethal.
Oh boy. What a.
I have no
adventure.
bonus whatsoever in Arcana.
I think I've got decent as a jack of all trades. I've got a 3.
I think Glaine's up to a +1 with his bonus. So he's pretty much a pro.
Yeah. See, Dagwood should be. Nope, Dagwood has a +1. Okay. I'm apparently the scholar of the group. when it comes to magic, unfortunately. All we get is a 3.
I guess you guys could probably like reposition yourself. No, that's fine. We'll just start with these positions, and you guys can move on your turn.
That's fine.
This is what it is.
All right.
And that'll be we'll pick back up there next time for probably the final for the finale, which I guess is during GDB apparently.
Maybe.
April 13th.
I think that's we're gonna try to make that the last one for
April,
season 1.
October.
October 13th. April? What?
See you in April. Bye.
Wrap up all the loose ends. Find out who the mole is.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll
Get our
find out all the
denouement,
answers.
cinematics out the wazoo.
Go back and check out
Visions
that
of
cave,
Bentley.
see if there's any loot.
Oh yeah, look for the loot.
Loot. Look at the loot.
I gotta kill Robert.
No!
Gotta figure out a way to get across without the bridge,
He's a
though.
war hero. I'm sure we'll manage. Prometheus did it. It was 100 feet across. He made it across.
And all the bugbears did too, so it wasn't some
He
giant
probably just
feat
threw
of jumping.
They figured
Oh,
it
so
out.
they're already damaged.
Landed in a snowbank. We're fine. Well, all right. Al, incredible session. Thank you.
Stealth session. That's a classic.
Yeah.
Sneaking in, sending one person in.
I'm very sad we didn't get to Cloud of Daggers that hallway, trap the bugbears, but it was very cool to be able to actually stealth a dungeon, even though Savannah did all the work.
Oh, the orb was pretty cool. Pretty cool.
We orbed.
We didn't ring a single bell.
No,
It's the end of that.
It was a successful stealth mission, honestly.
Yeah.
Weird.
I was getting upset.
Is that how stealth is supposed to work?
Not in my experience. All right, everyone. This is amazing. Finale next time.
Work team.
I took 1 point of damage this entire session, even though I did pretty much everything. As it worked out.
We were so invisible, so safe.
Dove took some
Spell
damage.
slots?
I think Dove just took the 1 point.
Yeah, the weather, the exhaustion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's 2 sessions in a row where Day did all the work. Weird.
Y'all helped last time.
I rolled a 20 or something at the top of the stream, but
Not having the orb is really good for you guys.
It
I'll
is.
tell you that much.
I like not getting blasted.
This
with
is huge
lasers.
for this fight that's happening. Taking that away from him. Being pinned down, not having that laser attack is going to hurt him.
We've gotten every advantage we can. Now we just got to see it through.
How much health could one Cyclops have?
I mean, I don't have a monster manual handy, but
Quite a lot less if you get stuck in a cloud of daggers for 10 rounds. I don't know.
Quick plug. Starting in October 1st, I'm
yes.
streaming every day for Games Done Badly Daily.
Yes, everyone who's interested in any of this nonsense, make sure to be ready for GameCube.
You want to follow the shenanigans of AlQuest's most least popular character? Follow me.
Dorko's gonna be there?
Yeah. Having a podcast with him and Robert Goblin, we're all going to be there.
GQ's gonna be streaming every day in October. First 2 days are Zelda. Proceed with caution.
Yeah.
And we don't even know what all the streams are gonna be, but he has some kind of schedule. Or maybe he's
I've got
building it
some-
1 week at a time. I don't know.
1 week at a time, but I've got some real special stuff as we go.
Oh.
Some of you are going to love it.
We got the week of 6, where he
I've got
plays
tar-
Final
I've got
Fantasy
targeted
6
streams.
and
Resident Evil 6,
Resident
Mega
Evil
Man
6.
6, and
all the greats.
all the Capcom 6s.
Anyone else have anything they wanna plug?
No, not me.
All right.
Germdub's a cool guy.
Germdub is a cool guy. He's doing
Hello, Germdove.
Mario.
Mario.
Follow
And
Germdub.
Zelda.
I start my new job on Tuesday.
Day's got a new job on Tuesday.
I feel like Tears of the Kingdom is accelerating. Because,
You got a better handle on what you're doing.
I don't know exactly how much more there is to it, but I feel like I can get through one dungeon per Sunday, and there's like at least 3 more that I know about. So that might be wrapping up in the next couple months.
Exciting.
It's a couple months.
Yeah,
That's
months. That's all.
In 2024.
Oh, Pico
Victoria
Park.
soon.
Pico Park.
We are starting to get the gang back together. We had 2 confirmed yeses and 1 confirmed no from the party that played last time.
All right.
I'll play. Am I one
Okay,
of those?
so 3 confirmed yeses.
Yeah, I'll play whenever, any day, any night,
Or I guess it's
or weekend.
4? We still need to work out the timing for it, but
I already
that's
bought
gonna
it,
be a really good time.
so
I did
good to
too.
go.
Yeah.
There's fun timing. All right. Well, that's the end of the stream.
Oh, we didn't do
Alright.
introductions at the top. I'm Glane.
Oh yes.
He's
yeah.
Dagwood.
Yeah. This is the end
I'm
of
out.
the campaign. So good luck if you don't know who any of these people are.
Go watch the other episodes.
Yeah, they're all available.
On Blu-ray.
Wow, we got Blu-ray copy, physical copy.
Before it's even done.
Nice. Yeah, that's how we're just gonna beam it onto the disc after it's shipped. All right, everybody.
All right, I'm heading out of here.
Bye. Have a good
guys.
night. See you next time. Yay.
Bye.
Bye.
Outquest.